It started with a rule. The dress code is to promote professionalism. No crop tops, no tank tops, no ripped jeans. Girls' pants can't be above their ankles. Some real crazy dress code stuff. Well, this girl had enough, and she wants to do something about it. So one day, she shows up to school in a full-body horse costume. Yes, I know it's a llama mask, but I don't have a horse mask, so bear with me. Mane, hooves, tail, covered head to toe. And technically, this horse costume followed every single rule. That's not professional. Show me where it says no horses. They couldn't do anything, because there was no rule in the handbook that said no costumes or no horses. There was no skin showing, her ankles were covered by the horse costume. Like I said, she knew the handbook better than the teachers and the principal did. But the thing is, the teachers were obsessed with this. One teacher would bring her carrots every morning. Hey, horse girl, I got a carrot for you. That's hilarious. One teacher said, you're my hero. Even the lunch lady would start neighing whenever she saw her. She wore this horse costume every single day for 3 straight weeks. But then the school finally added a new rule. No costume wear. The worst part of a sleepover was the morning. You're tired, the air smells weird, your friend is always sleeping longer than you are, so you have to deal with their parents. I hated that. Well, this one kid shared a story about a sleepover he went to when he was a kid. They wake up. His friend asks, so you want to stay for breakfast? Sure. Honestly, he should have left right then and there. That was a trap. He could have dipped, but instead, he's eating boiled spinach, microwaved eggs, and a glass of milk. The worst combo of all time. Why was this kid's parents making that for breakfast? I don't know. You like it, sweetie? Yeah, yummy. You barely touched your spinach. I'm savoring it. Meanwhile, his friend's little brother, who's staring at him, says, you eat weird. What? He survives breakfast. Barely. He sticks around for a little bit and then he wants to go home, but by this time it's 3 p.m. They ask him if he wants to play a board game. Guess he doesn't want to make his friend feel bad, so he says yes. But the game was Monopoly. The longest game ever. Who's playing Monopoly? And he's starting to get real antsy. He's got to go. He's texting his mom, please come pick me up. It's an emergency. 6 p.m. Ding, his mom texts him. Here. He grabs his backpack. All right, guys, thanks for having me. My mom's out front. And his friend starts shaking. Wait, you're leaving? Yeah, man, it's Sunday night. But I thought we'd hang out all week. Bro, we got school tomorrow. And then his friend starts crying. But you're my best friend. You're my best friend. I know, man. I know. All right, see you guys. He gets into the car and says to himself, never again. This isn't Monsters, Inc. It was a Monday. The class voted on a movie to watch for Friday because they had been good and they had gotten good grades or something like that. Everyone voted. It was a huge thing. The final tally is that Monsters, Inc. was the movie that they were going to watch on Friday. Heck yeah. Monsters, Inc. is awesome. Even the teacher said, that's a great choice, class. I love that movie. Well, cut to Friday, somebody brought a big bag of popcorn and Ziploc bags. They were passing out popcorn to the whole class. People were hyped. The lights go off, everyone's ready, and then the teacher says this. Okay, class, today we are watching The Miracle of Wheat production, a 52-minute educational film made in 1987. You're gonna love this. Okay, so now everybody's confused. What the literal hell is happening right now? She presses play. The movie is grainy, the opening song is a banjo when you hear this. Let's take a journey through the fascinating world of wheat. People don't really know what to say. The teacher's just sitting there smiling. Finally, one kid says loud enough for her to hear, yo, answer us. What happened to Monsters, Inc.? Well, I realize it might not be educational enough, but you guys are gonna love this movie, I promise. Give it a chance. And they never forgave her for what she did that day. It's summer camp. Midnight. Most of the cabins are asleep when this kid wakes up to a sound. Hey, did you hear that? The sound is crying somewhere in the woods. It's not a normal cry either, like full-on sobbing, muttering. Is that an animal? Dude, I think it's a person. Well, these two campers sneak out with their flashlights and start searching through the trees. Hello? Anybody out here? Hello, we hear the crying. They find her, a camp counselor sitting on a rock, barefoot, crying. He said he loved me. But then he kissed Jenna on the dock like I don't exist? They're campers and she's a counselor. This is not their business. Do you want us to get like another counselor or something? I can call some... No, I'm fine. Don't tell anybody you saw me. What the heck? The next morning, she's at breakfast and she's acting normal, like she wasn't just scream crying into a pine tree 8 hours before this. But that rock that she was sitting on, they called that rock Breakup Rock for years after that. This kid ran a genius hustle. So at this one school, if your phone ended up in the lost and found, it stayed there until the parents of that student picked it up. That was the rule. If they took your phone, you were not getting it back. Then this kid named Marcus starts a business. $10 and I'll get your phones back before 6th period. Bro, what? They're in the front office. Yeah, well, Marcus had an older cousin that worked in the front office. And every day during lunch, Marcus would go to the office to say hi to his cousin. And when he did that, his cousin would quietly hand him a phone wrapped in a napkin. Hey, what's up, cousin? Oh, hey, Marcus, hope you're having a good lunch. Here is your snack I brought you. Good man. And nobody noticed. He had a group chat, phone retrieval services. You would DM him what class you lost your phone in and what your phone case looked like. Even had tiers. $10 for standard pickups during lunch, $15 if you had to go to the office during class, it's a bit more risky, and $20 if you get caught again the next day. It became this underground thing. But here's the twist. Eventually the principal finds out about this. He made a deal. I won't punish you, but for this next week, every single time someone messages you to do this, give me their name. Fine. He became a frickin' informant, and for that next week, he busted a lot of kids. Eventually, they found out that he had flipped and his business was completely washed. But still, I guess you gotta respect the hustle. A dirty pair of shoes changed his entire life. It started when this kid noticed something weird. Every single Friday, without fail, this one math teacher wore the same busted sneakers. Grimy, white New Balances that were definitely super stained. So one day during lunch, this 8th grader walks up to him. You know I can clean those shoes for you, right? Eh? Be my guest. So they go to his classroom, he gives him the New Balances and puts on another pair of shoes, and this kid takes the teacher's shoes home. He wants to do a good job, so he's watching tutorials on YouTube, he borrows his cousin's shoe cleaning kit, he goes to town. Well, he brings those shoes back looking brand spanking new. Yo, these are nice. Can you clean the shoes I actually care about though? And just like that, word spreads fast. By next week, this kid's got a folded up table in the corner of the lunchroom with a sign that says, Sneaker Shine, $5 for basic, $10 for premium. He brought in toothbrushes to scrub the stuff, he had suede brushes to keep that suede looking fresh, and he had like sneaker whitening pens. By week 3, some of the football players are giving him their cleats after practice for him to clean. By week 4, he's got some teachers that are giving him their shoes. And by week 5, this kid is shining shoes during class. Doing algebra with one hand and scrubbing Vans with the other. Business was absolutely booming. Well, one teacher, who's kind of lame, reported him for running an unauthorized business. The principal pulled him aside and said, look, you're not in trouble. Just don't make a mess, keep it quiet, and bring your rates down for school staff. For you, Mr. Johnson, you got it. And for you, always free. He made $800 in 2.5 months. Eventually, after a while, it did get out of hand and he had to stop. But by that point, he had a huge clientele, and he started his own website. You gotta respect the hustle. This kid started grading the teacher. It was a normal 7th grade class, and the teacher was exhausting. She talked too fast, she never explained anything, and her lessons were always boring. So before colonization, the Native Americans were showing signs of societal systems, and you see, it was really interesting because the colonization never happened. Well, this one kid, one day, decided to leave her a note. And it wasn't rude, it was a sticky note that he put on her desk. It said, you talk really fast, it's hard to keep up. And you skipped the lab yesterday. We were actually excited for that. He didn't sign it, and the next day, class feels different. She slows down, she starts with a story about her night. Guys, you won't believe it. Last night, I was feeding my cat, and then later, I thought the cat food was tuna, and I ate some. And at the end of class, she says this. Also, class, if you ever have any thoughts about how I teach or suggestions, feel free to leave a note right here. You don't gotta sign it or anything. It's actually very helpful. And now notes are showing up every day. Please stop calling on the same 3 people. That video was actually kind of helpful. Can we do more labs or just something hands-on? She reads every single one, she adjusts, and class starts to feel human. Weeks later, a kid leaves this note. This is my favorite class now. Thank you. And she taped that note onto the whiteboard. Now that's a lovely story. story. On Monday, Mr. Davis said, "Bring a towel and wear old clothes on Friday, class." No explanation, that was it. And the rumors start instantly. "Bro, we're painting." "No, guys, we're making slime." One kid remembers seeing a package of unfilled water balloons in a Walgreens bag sitting on Mr. Davis's desk. No, guys, listen to me. It's water balloons." That seemed like the most reasonable explanation, and kids got hyped. By Friday, everyone's ready. One kid brings a change of clothes, one kid's wearing goggles, most of the class is in their swimsuits. They're super hyped. Well, they get in Mr. Davis's class and they walk outside. There's water balloons everywhere, buckets full of them, and the weather's perfect. This is a dream come true. Yes. Literally a dream. Imagine a water balloon fight in the middle of a school day. That's when Mr. Davis says this. "All right, class, today we are studying projectile motion." Huh? Each of you will take turns throwing one water balloon at that wall right there. Then we'll log your trajectory data and calculate your angles. That's it. It's an actual frickin' lesson. One by one, kids are launching water balloons at this blank wall. One kid really wanted to splash someone, so he fake stumbles and accidentally pops a balloon on one of his classmates. Oops. That felt nice. Hey, no fooling around. It's a 0 for both of you. Now, they were never promised a water balloon fight, but they built themselves up and they truly believed it. This is the best senior prank of all time. So at this one high school, nobody knew what the senior prank was going to be. Usually there's a warning or like someone's leaked it, but this year, nothing. But right after second period, the school's front door opens and enters a mariachi band. 5 guys, full suits, giant instruments, and they start following the principal everywhere. It's kind of awesome. He's just walking normal, like checking things out. He's doing his job. He walks into a classroom mid-session, the band follows him in, the kids love it. By lunch, it's a full event. Kids got their phones out, they're filming him, they're following him around the hallways like a freaking parade, and the principal is eating this up. He thinks it's absolutely hilarious. And at the end of the day, the band leaves. And that was it. And nobody got in trouble because, let's be real, that was awesome. Like I said, brilliant senior prank. It's 7th grade and this kid Lucas brings a bunch of Costco gum to school. Tons of packs. Every single flavor. And he never made a big deal about it, but he would pull them out here and there so that people could see. And naturally, they would ask for a piece of gum. And when they did, 50 cents. "Oh, I don't have any money right now." "Oh, that's fine. Pay me later." And that was his thing. At first people were like, he's not gonna ask for that money later, It's just a piece of gum. But that's where they were completely wrong. Because after he would give someone a piece of gum and say, "Pay me later," he would pull out a tiny notebook and write down the debt in that notebook. Everybody had a tab. Their name, their flavor, and how much they owed. But the thing is, he wanted this debt to grow. He would walk up to them. "Hey, so you still owe me from last week, but I just got this crazy new watermelon flavor. You want a piece? I'll just put it on your tab." And he just kept stacking debt on top of debt on top of debt. Until finally he decided it was time to collect. He goes to the 2 biggest kids in class. "Carl? Mordecai? Yeah. I'll give you 10%. Here's the list. Get me my money." And they would go around school with the list. "Hey, you got Lucas's money? I'm here to collect." And these kids were big and intimidating, and people did pay him back. Lucas made like $175 before this whole thing was shut down. You gotta respect the hustle, I guess. "So where's my daughter?" "Yeah, well, we got good news and bad news." This happened the second day of kindergarten. Ella is 5 years old. It's her second day ever riding the bus. The bus route ends at the daycare, and that's where her mom picks her up after work. But on this particular day, the bus pulls up. The kids get off, except for Ella. The daycare staff looks around. "Wait a minute, where's Ella?" They called her mom. "Hi, did you keep Ella home from school today? Because she's not here." "What? No, she was in the bus this morning." The mom calls the school. "Where is my daughter? She didn't get off her bus today." I have no idea." They had no idea. They panic. The mom panics. 15 minutes later, the school calls the mom back. We know where she is." we know where she is. She had fallen asleep on the bus. The bus driver never checked the seats. They drove the bus back to the bus depot and locked the bus inside of the garage and left. Ella wakes up alone. On a dark, silent bus, and she's absolutely horrified, as you can imagine. There's no lights, there's no voices. She starts screaming. "Ah!" Finally, a mechanic hears her and runs over. She's in tears, she's shaking, she's hugging her backpack. The school apologized. The bus driver got fired, and that girl never took a nap on a bus ever again. It was said with a straight face, "It is not mathematically possible for you to pass this class." It was senior year, the final semester. This kid was failing calculus so bad that looking at his grades made him want to puke. Yeah, he messed up, he didn't do a lot of the homework assignments, he didn't study for a lot of the tests, but now the year's almost over, and if he doesn't pass his class, he doesn't graduate. So one day, he walks up to the teacher and asks her this, "Hey miss, is there still a chance I could pass this class at all?" The teacher just says this, "Well, Stephen, at this point, I don't think it's mathematically possible for you to pass this class." "Are you sure about this?" "Well, I'm a calculus teacher, so yeah, I'm sure." Well, despite this information, this kid still busted his butt for the last month of school, paid attention in class, asked a bunch of questions, studied for the final, got a C on the final. And guess what happens? He gets his final grade, and it's a 60%. That's a D, and that is still passing. The teacher saw his effort that last month of school and bumped his grade up for him. And after the final grades were posted, this teacher emailed him. All the email said was, "Sometimes math isn't about the numbers, it's about the effort." Honestly, gotta respect that teacher. His parents were at the sleepover. It's Friday night, sleepover at his buddy Jonah's house. First hour solid. Pizza, soda, Mario Kart, chillin'. But then, "Hey boys, we have next round, okay? This is gonna be great." It's Jonah's mom and dad. They join him and they play 4 rounds. "Oh, this is kinda weird, man." "Oh, it's fine." Later, they go for a bike ride. Let's go, bro." "All right, see you, mom and dad, we're heading out." But then Jonah's mom and dad come out on their own bikes. "I'll lead the way. I'll be in the back for safety." What the heck? Biking in formation. Back inside, it's movie time. They're watching The Sandlot. Jonah's mom walks in with a pillow. "Oh, I love this one. Scoot over." The dad's laying on the floor. They stay for the entire movie and the dad's crying at the end. Now that's a classic. Now that's a classic. Then it's time for bed. Sleeping bags on the floor, lights off, and then suddenly, zip! Jonah's parents lay out their own sleeping bags and they join them. "Good night, boys. I had a lot of fun today. I'm gonna sleep like a baby tonight." He doesn't sleep, he just stares at the ceiling listening to Jonah's dad snore, counting down the hours till morning. Worst sleepover ever, and he never went back. He opened his lunch, looked inside, and oh god, he was starving. He missed breakfast this day, he had a packed lunch, and he couldn't wait for his lunch period. He'd been counting down all morning. Well, it's finally his lunch. He sits down, he opens his lunch bag, and what? Yeah, first thing he sees, a container of cold chicken and sauerkraut. Next to it was a weird mustard packet, like one of those from the deli, a Ziploc full of cherry tomatoes, and a boiled egg, just loose, in the lunch bag, floating around. No salt, no napkin, nothing. What? Are you good, homie? I grabbed my dad's lunch. He packs it up, he doesn't eat, doesn't say a word for the rest of lunch. Carries the bag with him all day, and then after school, he goes home, and he walks into his kitchen. "Dad, what even is this?" "Ah, it's my lunch." "Yeah, I was wondering why I had yours." "Dude, it's nasty. It smells like vinegar, and there's just an egg in there, loose." "Hey, that's a good egg." "No, Dad, that's a sad egg. A very sad egg." And from that day forward, he made sure to triple check his lunches every morning before school. Honestly, I think that dad's lunch didn't sound too bad, myself. It was supposed to be a regular Easter egg hunt. Colorful eggs, kids running around, but for some reason that year it went completely off the rails. This was some years back. The school threw an Easter egg hunt, and the whole community showed up. Dozens of kids in the field, baskets in their hand. And then there's the parents. "Stick with me, sweetie, I know where they put the gold ones. Don't just stand there, go right there, under the bench." They weren't just cheering them on, they were coaching them. They were controlling the situation. Some parents are diving through bushes. "Oh, I see one, get back." One dad grabs 5 eggs and gives them to his kid. "Hey, yo, that was my kid's egg. You saw us going for that." "Oh, shut your mouth. Your kid's a loser." Then it pops off. Moms are throwing themselves across the grass. Dads are squaring up. "Yeah? Come on, man. You want some of this? You got, man. What you got, huh? Oh, It got so bad that by the end, 5 people were injured and one of them had to be airlifted by a helicopter to the nearest hospital. Thankfully, nobody died. But from that year on, the school had a strict rule that the Easter egg hunts were only for the kids. That makes perfect sense to me. Oh, my AirPods are nasty. I can clean them for a price. This started in 7th grade. Everybody had AirPods, but nobody would clean them, except this one kid. This kid had a pencil bag full of Q-tips. I made fun of him until one day this girl's looking at her AirPods and she says, "Ugh, there's like gunk in here. It's disgusting. And he goes, I can clean that, $1. She laughs, but he's already pulling out his cleaning kit. Toothpick, soft cloth, Q-tip, disinfectant swab. He's wiping it down like a surgeon. There. Oh my God, they look brand new. I know. Next day during lunch, a line is forming. People are handing over cash. You do pros too? Absolutely. What about these? Bro, these are knockoffs. I'll do them for 50 cents for you. Like I said, he keeps the tools in a pencil case and he has his cleaning services during lunch. He even sprays them with a minty finish. Then the math teacher walks up. Hey boyo, I hear you're the kid that cleans the AirPods. You heard right? Can you do these? Yeah. And Mr. Johnson, for you, these are on the house. By the end of the semester, he had made $180 from this business, which is a little over 180 AirPods cleaned. And he made all this money from cotton swabbing earwax out of AirPods. You gotta respect the hustle. There was this kid in 8th grade, and to be clear, nobody liked him. Why? Well, because he was frickin' mean. He would steal people's food and say, mine, survival of the fittest. He barked at the PE teacher once. Ruff. And he had this really insane talent of making other people cry. Kid was a certified menace. One day during lunch, he picks up one of those tiny square milk cartons, and he sees someone across the way and says this, hey nerd, catch this. He winds up, he launches the milk carton, and he misses. The milk carton missed the kid he was trying to throw it at, but it hit the security guard in the chest. Ho, you, come here now. And let me say this, the security guard was a huge, buff dude. People respected him because they were terrified of him. No. I'm so sorry. This 8th grader is now starting to panic because he's terrified. I said, come here now. He starts walking over there slowly in shame and terror. And just like that, every single student in the cafeteria begins cheering. Justice. Justice is served. Who's the nerd now? Loser. Everyone was just so happy that this kid, who seemed to never get in trouble but was always so horrible to other people, was finally getting the karma he deserved. This is the craziest bus ride ever. This happened on a 5th grade farm field trip. Middle of nowhere, long bus ride, bumpy roads. Kid in the front goes, ma'am, are we almost there? About 10 miles away, class, hang tight. Then boom, glass explodes. Something smashes through the windshield. Kids are crying. The driver yells, it's a bird! It's a big bird! The teacher looks down and it's a full-grown turkey. Dead. Feathers, blood, just laying there on the aisle of the bus. Okay, nobody panic. Nobody touch the turkey. She grabs a binder and she scoots this giant dead turkey towards the back of the bus by the door. She then opens the back door of the bus and kicks this turkey as hard as she can like a soccer ball. Okay, everybody off the bus, line up against this fence. Head count, please. The kids are still shaking. There's feathers in their hair, because when she kicked the bird, it kind of exploded a bit. Really traumatic. The new bus will be here in 20 minutes, okay? And she's all calm like she's done this before. The trip was canceled, obviously. When the new bus got there, they all got in and they just went back to the school. But the smell of turkey death lingered on them for hours. This is absolutely insane. So Rampart High School was a blue ribbon school. Good grades, solid reputation, but they had barely any money. So the principal has an idea to rent out the gymnasium to make some extra cash. And someone comes up, they want to use it on a Saturday. They say it's just a small event. The guy says, yeah, it's for a church dance, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., 1,000 people max. Well, Saturday night hits, and it's a full-blown rave. Lights, fog machines, thumping bass, it's packed. Over 5,000 people show up. People are drinking, there's a bunch of other crazy stuff going on, and this isn't just a rumor, it was on the news. Here's the article. See, 5,000 people. What is this? The superintendent said this was a major mistake, and that they were manipulated by these guys. The rave went on from 6 p.m. to 6 a.m. all frickin' night. The company that threw the rave said that they never lied and that kids will be kids, but come on, who would do this? After the rave, the gym was completely destroyed. And I mean like destroyed. The floors, the bleachers, everything. The gym could not be used for the rest of the school year. People start calling the school Ravepart instead of Rampart. And whenever a student from the school's choir sings the national anthem at a school event, they always end it with this. And the home of the rave. Home of the rave. 12 weeks 1 chicken, and nobody found out. This happened at a farming boarding school, which, first of all, I had no idea a farming boarding school existed, but they do. One weekend, this student goes into town and comes back with a live chicken. A full-grown, living, squawking chicken. No one knows why. Nobody asks questions. All they know is that that chicken lives in his dorm now. He feeds it scraps. He names him Henry. You're such a good boy, Henry. No, you're a good boy. Stop. This went on for 12 weeks. 12 weeks of clucks, feathers, and somehow total secrecy from the authorities. No staff ever caught him, and the people living on the floor didn't say anything. Eventually, he let that chicken go back on a local farm. He was sad, but he planned to visit it. So 2 months after he dropped it off, he stopped by. Hey, I'm here to see Henry. Oh yeah, Henry! He died. A coyote ate him last night. Gnarly scene. What? His carcass is out back. You want to see it? No! Rest in peace, Henry. It was the school's Halloween costume contest. Everybody's in full costume. Teachers, judges, the whole gym is packed. Students are making their walks across the stage and the judges are judging. So one kid gets up and he's wearing a basic Walmart hot dog costume. But for some reason, the entire school went nuts when they saw it. Yes! Yeah! Oh my God. They started chanting, "Hot dog kid! Hot dog kid!" And he ends up winning the costume contest. Well, the next year, same contest, the crowd's a little bigger this time, and students are making their way across the stage and the judges are judging. Well, the hot dog kid from the year before shows up dressed as a penguin. Big puffy suit, he's making his way, and now it's his turn to stand in the middle of the gym stage. Crickets. The entire gym is quiet. Then he smiles, takes his hand, rips off the penguin costume, and underneath, he's wearing the same hot dog costume from last year. The gym erupts. He's doing it again! He did it again! Hot dog kid is back! Everyone's going crazy. They're chanting hot dog kid over and over and over again. Guess what? He wins again. He walked off that stage a legend for the 2nd year in a row, and then he graduated. But nobody ever forgot Hot Dog Kid. I'll tell you that much. You either finished in 60 seconds or you failed. This was 8th grade, pop quiz day. But it wasn't just any quiz, it was Mrs. Lowell's quiz. Okay, pencils down on the timer, you have 60 seconds. There are 10 questions, you should be fine if you studied. 10 questions in a minute? Time's a part of the challenge. Welcome to real life, buddy. She sets a timer on her phone. 60, 59, 58. You can feel the panic. Kids are scribbling down trying to finish this 10-question quiz, and the buzzer goes off. Pencils down, I will collect these now. Everyone's groaning like they all knew that they just failed that thing. Next day, grades get handed back. One kid got 20%, one kid got a 50%, one kid got a 10%. Yo, this ain't fair, miss. You only gave us a minute. Yeah, and you should have been ready for the quiz. Just brutal. 2 weeks later, different day, the bell rings for class. There's no sign of Miss Lowell. A minute passes, then 5. The whole class is just sitting there. Well, suddenly, one kid stands up and walks to the classroom door. He locks it. What are you doing? She says 1 minute's enough time to finish those quizzes. We gave her 5. Class already started. She's locked out. Shortly after that, she shows up and she tries to open the door, but obviously, it's locked, and she doesn't have her key. Unlock this door immediately. Nobody moves. You are wasting class time. You're a hypocrite, miss. You're late to class. Welcome to real life. You gotta respect the hustle. Have your parents ever embarrassed you? Listen to this story. So this family's at the mall. A mom and her 2 kids. They grab 3 lemonades from a pretzel stand, take them to the food court, order some pizza. Normal day at the mall. Sounds lovely to me. Well, the lemonade tastes off. Not like poison, just like a weird lemonade. But the kids? Yeah, they're thirsty. So they drink all of it anyway, but the mom, she doesn't. She takes 1 sip and she's done. This lemonade's disgusting. Why would they serve this? She's just complaining about it the entire time they're eating. So after their meal, she drags both of her kids back to that pretzel stand. Yeah, hi, I want a refund for all 3 of these lemonades. They were absolutely horrible. The cashier goes, hey, listen, I totally get it. Since you didn't drink yours, I'll refund that one, but your kids drank theirs, so I can't refund theirs. I mean, seems reasonable, right? Nope. The mom snaps. Full-blown meltdown. You think this is fair? Huh? I want my money back for all 3 lemonades. I can't, lady. I can give you some coupons, but that's it. Doesn't help at all. The mom is still going off, and the kids are begging her to stop. Mom, please stop it. It's so embarrassing. Let's go. Let's go, Mom, please. The mom eventually storms off, and they all get in the car. And the whole ride home, the mom's like, you guys made me look stupid. Why did you drink your lemonade? Now they think I'm some sort of joke. I mean, yeah, they probably do. Because you were acting like a fool in the middle of the mall. That's crazy. It started with one kid and a toaster. One day, this one kid brings a toaster to school, like an actual toaster. He plugged it into the wall outlet by the lockers and began making Pop-Tarts before first period. Morning, bro, what you doing? I'm making my breakfast. S'mores Pop-Tarts today. Is that your toaster? Absolutely. Well, this pre-class breakfast situation began to grow pretty quickly. By the next week, different groups of kids had brought in their own toaster. They were cooking up Eggos, jelly toast. People were bringing flasks of syrup. One kid brought in one of those electric flat iron stoves. Soon, every morning throughout the school, there were entire breakfast zones, each zone cooking a different breakfast item. And it was kind of awesome. These zones were behind the bleachers, in the band room, in a corner of the library. Teachers were finding pancake batter in the sinks. It was a mess. Well, quickly, the school shut it all down, but the smell of cinnamon lingered for a while. Then, my friends, on the last day of school, during morning announcements, which they always had a student do, people heard this. Oh my God. Did you guys smell that? The sound was the sizzling of bacon coming through the intercom in every room of the school, and people were beginning to smell the bacon. And right before they were able to turn off the intercom, everybody heard this. You can never take our breakfast. Long live breakfast. That kid wanted to end the year a legend, so he cooked bacon on the intercom to get back at the school for shutting down their breakfast clubs. This kid gets caught cheating on purpose. This happened last spring. There's this math teacher, right? She's super strict, but only to certain kids. Late homework, 0%. Wrong format, 0%. But if your parents were rich, if you were on varsity, if she just liked you, you were fine. And everybody knew it, but nobody could prove it. But then there's Noah. He was at top of his class. He literally had a spreadsheet to track his GPA. One day he wanted to prove that this teacher was a little biased. So during a quiz, he leans way over his desk and stares at the person next to his quiz, like clearly cheating. Can I see? The teacher looks up, sees him doing this, but nothing. Completely ignores it. The next week, there's another quiz. Now, Noah's friend Kyle, the teacher didn't like that much, so this was the other half of their plan. During that quiz, Kyle begins cheating off of somebody else, and he doesn't get very far. Office now. Not even 2 seconds into Kyle cheating, the teacher sees this and calls him out immediately. Kyle gets 2 days of in-school suspension. Noah, nothing. So their theory was proven. A few days after that, they go to the principal together and they explain to the principal the situation that's going on. And believe it or not, thank you for sharing this. I believe you guys. Yes, I'll have a talk with her. I promise. The teacher was out for a few days, but when she came back, she was a whole lot more fair. I bet that principal really gave her a talking to. This school had a villain. A mayonnaise villain. Every few days, students would be walking up the main staircase when you would hear, "Ugh, gross." Somebody would scream, hold up their hand, and it would be covered in mayonnaise. The mayonnaise wouldn't be on top of the railing, it would be underneath. It started in the cafeteria stairwell. Then it spread. Math hallway. Science wing became a problem. You'd think that they would install cameras or that they would have cameras in the stairwells, but they didn't. So now everyone's terrified of touching railings because obviously some kid has been taking mayonnaise and smearing it under the railings in every single staircase in the school. And it wasn't like a little bit of mayonnaise, it was a lot. Kids are just walking up the stairs now with their hands to their sides because no one's gonna touch that stuff. And nobody knows who's doing this. The janitors are mad, the teachers are furious, the principal makes an announcement. Please, whoever's putting mayonnaise under the railings, stop it! It never stops. There was breaks for a few months, but it never stopped. Until one day, it did, 2 years later. And people assume it's because the mayonnaise bandit graduated. But even still, after that, the legend lives on forever. That's disgusting. This teacher stole a deceased girl's necklace. It was middle school science class. The teacher had them doing some drawings of cells and whatever science stuff, so he had brought out some crayons and colored pencils. Well, he was getting very mad because for the past few days, the students were not putting the class supplies away. And I guess it was really bothering him. But instead of saying something, he told the class, "All right, class, we're doing something different tomorrow. I want you all to bring in something very important to you. Something that you would never want to lose." For what? Oh, you'll see. It's gonna be lovely. Well, they brought in their stuff. A girl brought in a necklace. It was the other half to the one she was wearing. Well, the one she brought in belonged to her friend who had died in a snowmobile accident the year before. Somebody else brought a family heirloom. One kid brought in his dad's old watch. His dad had passed away 2 years ago. So it was some pretty important stuff to these kids. Okay, really quick, everybody, hand me your items. Just put them up here on the desk, okay? He put all the items in a cardboard box and said, "You will get these back when you start respecting my classroom and my supplies." Okay? What? My dad's watch? No, mister. I need the necklace back, please. He didn't care at all. All of this over some crayons and colored pencils. The class didn't get their things back for over a week. Some parents had to get involved. That was a very big thing, and he never apologized once.
আপনি যে কি করে আপনার মাথায় কোনো কমন সেন্স নেই আমার বাসায় কিছু সবাই দেখে ফেলে
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয় মামা মালটা তো জোস সরি ভাবি কি পারবি তুই দেখ কিভাবে কই সেটিং মিটিং নাই তো সেটিং মানে বুঝো না পেন্টিরিতি ও তো আমাদের ভাবি হয় ওই হিসাবে আমাদের বিয়ে হিসাব আপনি
আচ্ছা দাঁড়া ওয়েট কর আমাকে একটু ভাবতে দে দেখি কি করা যায় দোস্ত তুই থাক আমি যাই আমি থাকবো মানে তুই থাক দোস্ত
রক্ত লাগবে রে রক্ত আসবো না মানে হ্যাঁ তাই তো শুনলাম আসবো না ঠিক আছে দেখতেছি ব্যাপারটা যাও
কি রে তুই কোচিং এ যাস না কেন
দোস্ত আমি কোচিং এ কিভাবে যাব বল এই গুন্ডাটা যে আমাকে ডিস্টার্ব করে তুই দেখতেই তো পারছস ডেইলি আমার পিছনে লাগা থাকে
আমার ভালোবাসার গল্পটা অপূর্ণ রয়ে গেল গলবে পাখির মন গলবে এমন মন্ত্র দেব
এভাবে রাস্তাঘাটে একটা মেয়েকে উত্তক্ত করে আর নিজের গায়ে রক্ত দিয়ে
হ্যালো
হেই হোয়াটস আপ প্র্যাঙ্ক ম্যান
কে
একটু হলেই তো তোমার ফোন হাওয়া হয়ে যেত
তুই তোর ফোন আর কোনোদিন পাবি না
কেন
তোর বাবা তো তোর ফোনটাকে একদম আছাড় দিয়ে ভেঙে শেষ এমনকি পানিতে চুবাইছে
আউট অফ কিউরিওসিটি হয়তো দেখা করব বাট আই এম নট দ্যাট মাচ ইজি অলওয়েজ রিমেম্বার
আজকে যদি তারা না থাকতো আজকে তো দিতাম একদম এই খালি স্কার্টেন গার্ডেন
এই যে আপু এসব গার্ডেন ফার্ডেন যায় না আমার ভাই ব্রাদাররা আছে আপনার একদম কামড়ায় দিবে না ব্রো এই যে আপনার ফোন প্র্যাঙ্ক ছিল ব্রো চিল রাকিব ভাই আপনি এসআই রাকিব ভাই না আপনার কথা আমি অনেক শুনছি আচ্ছা আপনি কিন্তু মানে বুঝের লোক তেজে তোলেন
এই হোসেন আলী ক্যামেরা আগেই কইছিলাম আমার বস ফেমাস হ্যাঁ ভাই একটু যদি ধরতে
হ্যাঁ শিওর
স্যার কিভাবে যে কনফার্ম হয়
এটা তো এদিকে না 3 নাম্বার গেট ওইদিকে শঙ্কর গলি বোধহয় গেটের বাইরে আপনি ভুল আসছেন জান
ভুল আসছে কিন্তু আমি কি চিনতে পারবো
ও আচ্ছা আপনি দ্যাট বোরখা গার্ল
চিনতে পেরেছো তাহলে না
আই লাইক গুড গার্লস ফলো কর যা ইফতে কই যায় দেখবি যা সারা জীবনে প্রথম কাউরে প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে যায় নিজেই আজকে প্র্যাঙ্ক হয়ে গেল
মুনিয়া তুমি আমাকে বলেছো যে তুমি তোমার কোনো বয়ফ্রেন্ড নাই
না বয়ফ্রেন্ড না আমি ওর বয়ফ্রেন্ড আমি ওর ফিয়ান্সে ওর সাথে আমার বিয়ে নেক্সট
ও আচ্ছা
আমার জন্য
এটা তোমার জন্য একটা নতুন ফোন দিলাম
এই জন্য তাহলে তোমরা এতক্ষণ নাটক করছো
নাটক না তোমার ফোনটা পুরনো হয়ে গেছে
কেন
নতুন ফোন
আমরা প্র্যাঙ্ক করতে পারি না
একটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট কথা ছিল তোমার সাথে এমন করলে কেমন হয় যদি এই এন্টারটেইনমেন্ট জার্নিতে আমি জয়েন করি তোমার সাথে
আরে বেঞ্চ সাহেব, নতুন নতুন সম্বন্ধ তো তাই চিনতে পারেন নাই। ওই যে আপনার বান্ধবী তুলি আছে না,
আপনি যে কি করে আপনি তাতে কোনো কমন সেন্স নেই, আমার বাসায় যদি সবাই দেখে ফেলে।
রাত 10টায় আমি ফোন দিব, আর একবারের বেশি যদি রিং হয়। মামা, মালটা তো জোস। সরি 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 ভাবি, তুই যা, তুই পারবি, তুই যা। দেখ কিভাবে কই। সেটিং মেটিং নাই তো? সেটিং মানে বুঝো না, পেন পেরিতি।
সবে তিনটা সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে পড়ি।
সেকেন্ড ইয়ারে আমি ক্লাস 9 এর পোলাবে না প্রেম করে। মামা, মায়া তো অস্থির। এক্সকিউজ মি আপু, এক্সকিউজ মি, আপনার নামটা যদি বলতেন একটু। শুনেন বেঞ্চ সাহেব, আমার বন্ধু জিসান, ঠিক আছে? আপনার বান্ধবীরে শুনো। মারি নাই তো, শাসন করছি। ভালো লাগে না, একটু মারতেই পারি, কিন্তু খুব খারাপ হয়ে গেছে। তুই তোর ভাবির নামে সুন্দর একটা রিক্সা ডাক। ভাবি চিনিকে আমার বন্ধু জিসান দিচ্ছে, প্লিজ ভাবি আপনি একটু নেন, প্লিজ ভাবি। দেখেন ভাবি, কালকে সারা রাত তোমার আমি কল দিচ্ছি।
সারা রাত? তাহলে আপনি শুনুন আপনার ভালোবাসার মানুষের অতীত বর্তমান। পাগল কোন একদম ঠিক হয় না, ওনার ব্যথা লাগে নাই?
ব্যথা তো বেশি তুহিন।
তুহিনের ব্যথা লাগছে মানে?
বন্ধু তুই চিন্তা করিস না রে, ভাবির মন ঠিকই গলে যাবে। ভাবির মন তো গড়বে, কিন্তু